there. Doesn't now you gotta say it. It's fine. What? Now you gotta say. I was gonna say, I'm like, now you gotta say it, and I'm like, yeah, no, I should have. And then I read actually what you said. I'm like, no. Everybody's free to come and go. Like that's the whole point. Like I never know who's here unless you guys chat or like redeem something or whatever, which is nice because there's freedom for you guys to be here even if you don't feel like talking and shit, you know. But also, yeah, I never get my feelings hurt about somebody like just disappearing mid conversation or whatever, you know, because yeah, you might have got busy, you might have got a phone call, whatever, you might have pieced out because you didn't like the topic, whatever, you know. It's nice to see me in here too. Well, you know, the shadows haven't been lurked in for a while, so, you know, if anybody feels like they need to lurk in shadow, now's your time. He's here. The shadows are present, you know. So I just lurk a lot, to be honest. I didn't see that. I didn't imply that just then, but there are... What's it? And ads. What? And ads. Yeah, there's ads. It's fucking always ads. I kind of feel like my person used to run more. Maybe I feel like I used to scoot around a bit more running-wise. Let's keep getting rid of these. Surprised that these count as bushes and not actually like trees, you know? But yeah, unfortunately every hour there's always ads unless somebody fucking spams an extra redeem for an ad, but I'm pretty sure I have those on like a one per person or one per so much amount of time or something, because like Twitch will sometimes be like, no, you can't run the extra ad. Unfortunately, with like YouTube, I have no fucking clue when you guys get ads or how frequently, because that's all automated by YouTube itself. I have like barely any fucking control over what goes on with that, which is also fucking speaking of. So my fucking videos at one point, I didn't notice this because like for a while, like the way like YouTube sort of works is you get ads on your video regardless of if you put them on it, right? So if you're not in the partner program, you don't get the revenue for the ads that play on your videos, even though they play ads on your videos and shit, right? But at one point they increased the amount of ads that were playing, and I didn't notice. And I went in to like look at one of my videos because I used to kind of like shift the ad breaks around and shit. And there was like fucking 11 fucking ads on it on like a 20-30 minute video. I'm like, holy fuck. So yeah, I've adjusted some shit. I think like at most you should only see like from me at most, because like I still want to try to snag some of the ones where fucking YouTube puts it up and I don't have control over it. At most you'll get is ever 4, right? So if there's more than 4 on any video, that's not me, and I'm probably not getting the revenue for it. So yeah, that kind of sucks. But yeah, I've tried to like fix up some shit with that. I got a chance to like look at some things. So you can sub. Yeah, I mean, there's that too, but not everybody's in a position to do so. Like myself, for instance, you know, I watch a few streamers and stuff. I'm not in a position financially to subscribe to any of them. I remember feeling like really particularly guilty about this because like, you know, I'd love to be able to like, I don't know, just cheer a sub or whatever, or even like a Prime one or whatever. But like, I don't have a Prime subscription. And as far as like subs go and stuff, I remember somebody explained it as like, you got to take care of yourself, obviously, and make sure you're stable first before you can start like taking care of somebody else. And I'm like, that makes sense, you know, kind of helped deal with that a little bit. Because, yeah, I don't know. Some people are really super wonderful and they just, you know, if they're able to, they sub and shit, and that's nice, you know. But I'm unable to do it back. And I don't know for how many years I'm still going to be unable to do that back. But eventually one day, one of these fucking days, I'm shaking my fist, you guys, one of these days, you guys are going to get fucking subbed back. If somebody I'll watch, you know. So I still remember that time when YouTube allowed for a 1.5 hour full movie to be shown as ads and showed it as almost every video. Okay, so I can actually explain what that is. So you can pay to promote your videos on YouTube, right? And if you pay to promote your video, regardless of how long the video is, it will play in an ad slot on somebody else's video, which means you can click on somebody else's video and your video can pop up as an ad and it can start playing and basically like overwrite the video that you're watching if the person doesn't click away from the ad, and it will play for however long that is. So if you get an ad and it's like a full-length feature fucking movie length ad that somebody's paid to promote, it's not necessarily always the actual streamer or YouTuber or whatever, because in some cases other people can choose to promote a video on somebody else's channel. There's actually, I saw a video of somebody did that to test the theory and like help boost somebody's channel, but doing that can sometimes actually harm the creator's channel as well. So some people actually do it out of harm for the creator as well. So yeah, so it's like you can't say that nobody else can promote your videos, but YouTube will question the content after a while, apparently. They'll be like, what is the nature of these advertisements that you are promoting? What's the purpose of it, or something like that, right? So yeah, you can eventually like be questioned by it, but it doesn't really stop people from doing it. You know, it's pretty reasonable, to be honest. Ever since Twitch raised the sub monthly costs, I've subbed a lot less to channels I watch. Yeah, I kind of feel like that was a like bad move in general, because like I kind of feel like, because I haven't been part of Twitch for super long, right? I'm literally coming up to my 3rd year next week, but I never knew anything about Twitch before I started streaming and stuff. And the price rises happened like right after I joined, and I'm like, I looked at the amount in Australian dollars, and I think it's like $8 Australian for a sub, or about that. But as an Australian, I get $2 out of that $8. So it's not great for the creator and stuff. Also, fun fact is, you know, the discounted subs that appear on streamers' channels. So the way that works is, because like you'll sometimes get like a pop-up that the certain streamer has reduced subs for this period of time. So that discount is revenue shared between Twitch and the creator, which means the creator actually gets less from your sub during that promotion as well. So on top of that, like I've had it before where during September, the first September I did, I got like a dollar a sub during my first event, and I was like, wow, that's kind of harsh, because like I got like a few subs the very first time I did it, but I got like fuck bugger all money from it and stuff. And as like streaming and content creation is my full-time job, right? Like I had accounted for like some of the rewards and stuff, like purchase of games or like purchase of materials and stuff like that for the event was going to be covered under the subs and stuff. So it wasn't going to be out of pocket on my end and stuff. I wasn't going to get really anything from it, but I ended up out of pocket by hosting the sub event and stuff. So I wasn't really super enthusiastic about doing it again, but I did end up doing like the sub event this year. But I had like no intention of like receiving anything from it, as always, like I never do anyway. But I also didn't, like I went out of my way to list things that were not particularly going to cost me anything, and were hopefully going to be of interest to you guys as well, just in case, just to kind of like, I don't know, make it less of a negative kind of thing. I know that like speaking of like money and stuff like that, it's generally seen as like bad form and shit, but at the same time, like I'm pretty open about this stuff and like how it is kind of thing. Yeah, I do want like other people, other streamers and people in the communities and stuff to understand what's actually happening and stuff. so that you guys can make informed decisions and whatever. Because, like, yeah, it seems like it's helping, but in some people's cases, it's not, you know? Yeah, it's not a joke to pay a sub. Oh, yeah. They're wolves? Please tell me they're not going to add fucking wolves to Project Zomboid. If they add dogs to this, I've already said, like, I'm going to be fucking jumpy as shit. I will also hydrate and stretch. I want to bring the car back over to the house briefly so I can unpack some of the wood in it. I should be able to turn around nice in here. Like I said, I don't know about these stumps. I don't know if they're going to destroy my tires, but I've got 2 little stumps in the way here. Now, I can probably get all the way up and over here. And I'll get this as close to there as we can go. No, wait, hold on. Get back in the car. You gotta turn the car off. There we go. Also gotta put fuel on this thing. Hydrate and stretch. Hold on. Yeah, I'll get my stretch. Oh, mate. I'll get my hydrate. Hold on. I gotta actually tighten the lid of this time because I poured water down myself before. There we go. Never knew about this. You're right, no one ever mentions it on streams. They're probably just Vikings buddies from the forest. Yeah, it probably is. I imagine it's just Viking. Just howling in the distance. A lot of people don't mention it. I think, like, from my perspective, I generally feel uneasy talking about it because, like, you know, what if Twitch just goes, yeah, let's just get rid of you kind of thing. Same with, like, YouTube. What if YouTube just decides to get rid of me and stuff? Like, this is what I do for a living and stuff. And while, like, I appreciate just people being here, spending time with me, watching my videos, leaving a nice comment, stuff like that. Like, all of that's just fine to me. You know, if anybody goes extra and above and beyond and shit and, like, subs or memberships or cheers or whatever, right? That's just unexpected kindness and stuff. And I know it's kind of like a sort of a weird thing because, like, as I said, I am doing this for a living and stuff, but I tried for a couple of years to build up YouTube to the point where I could meet the partner program so that I could earn the revenue from the ads on the videos and the streams and stuff you guys watch so that nobody has to pay out of pocket and stuff to me and whatever, right? Twitch, like, I don't get much from, like, their ads and stuff anyway, but at the same time, like, every so often somebody cheers something or, you know, subs or whatever, and it might be the difference between, you know, me being able to, you know, buy something, get some food that I'm interested in, or, like, something that I need necessity-wise, or, like, most of the time I normally just take my partner out for dinner, to thank him for basically supporting me and stuff, because, like, he's picking up the rest of the tab and stuff. So yeah, like, that's kind of how I use the income that I have now. But one day in the future, I'd love to be in the position where, like, maybe I could do some charity streams because I'm comfortably able to exist in, like, a bare minimum way kind of thing. Like, I'm a very more or less, like, frugal, no frills kind of person. Like I said, I don't eat much and I don't need much to be happy and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I would love to do this forever and a day. And just people turning up and more comments, more people kind of, like, talking and just chilling and all that sort of stuff. Like, that means more to me at this point in my life than anything else. Like, I sometimes think about it and I'm like, yeah, I'd be a lot more comfortable if I went out and I got a day job and, you know, I could potentially earn so much more money and stuff like that easily. Yeah, sure. But at the same time, fuck, I wouldn't be happy. And I know that because I've fucking done it before, you know. I am really sick of working for places that just take me for granted and don't care and are happy to like, you know, toss out employees once like efficiency is met and shit, you know. And I'm tired of that. I want something that I'm doing to succeed long into the future and be something that I enjoy. And it's fucking hard, sure, at times, especially like learning how to rig my avatar and crap. That shit's fucking mental. But I'm also super proud that I am learning these weird new skills and getting to do this stuff. And that all of it came from like a random conversation I had with a doctor about like what did I do with my days when I was unable to work because I was too sick. And yeah, I just started streaming from that because the doctor found like the conversation about what I do in games to be so entertaining. And he's like, you know, people might actually like want to listen to you like play games and shit. And yeah, now I'm doing this now and learned how to do video editing, and I've learned how to use social media, and I've learned how to make a Discord, and you know, I've learned about all these different people all around the world and what like a day-to-day life is like for you guys. And now I'm learning how to do an avatar thing, and you know, I figure out like events and all sorts of shit, you know. And I actually really do like what I do, which is why like I don't care if like I don't get to eat like a nicer meal, or I don't get to replace something right away in my house because I can't afford it or something like that. I don't give a shit. I'm just happy. I'm happy that I can be happy doing what I do. And also I enjoy coming and like chatting to you guys and hanging out and doing all this stuff. I've probably gone like too fucking deep, but it's fine. The devs mentioned they have dogs, NPCs, companions plan. Oh my god, no. I saw a dog bowl and a collar in a house that I looted, and I said I don't know if I could handle opening a door to a house in Project Zomboid and getting attacked by a dog. I don't know if, like, I would probably, depending on if they're outside roaming packs or if they're surprise motherfucker inside a house, like, there'd be a lot more like jump scare issues for me. Did that light? I thought I put fuel in it. Maybe I moved. There's a good chance that I moved. Put all those in there. I might have just like not lit that properly. Is she filling it? Destroy for fuel. Can we try a log? I haven't just thrown a log in. Is it in? I was gonna say, is it in? Nobody clipped that shit. Anyway, it's probably. They wouldn't be aggressive, just pets. Zombies don't target animals too, so they'll always be safe. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Then the sheep are probably still alive if they're not malnourished or like dying of thirst, if that's the case. I think I put food in there. Nah. Oh wait, did I not put the rice in there? Yeah, let's go chuck the rice in that. I've been worried about zombie dogs, like Resident Evil. Yeah, so I have like fucking legit nightmares about like zombie dogs and crap. Like the ones from Resident Evil. So I would prefer that they don't have that. Because like if you watch me play 7 Days to Die, I absolutely like, I know I can't do it on Project Zomboid, but I will flinch so hard. I'll physically hurt, right? But I'll also send like the screen flying. So like you can't see what the fuck's going on. And like I hate it. I hate that there's like the zombie dogs and crap. So I kind of hope that they don't bring in zombie dogs to this. Because like the nice thing I like about Project Zomboid is it seems to be exclusively infecting humans. And all animals are pure and fine. I like that. Like the saying goes, human life probably 100 years. It's one day compared to eternity. Like that. So many people's saves some materialism. Like you could have lived 1,000 years. Yeah. It goes on, but yeah, I don't know. Screw that. I actually do agree with that. Like I haven't heard of that saying. Well, it's burning. That's not unusual for me. I haven't heard that specifically, that saying itself, but I I do kind of like live by that sort of concept is like, I've explained this a couple of times before, but there's a good chance a few of you guys haven't heard of it, was that for a very long time, I was the person who my parents wanted me to be. And that person was not who I am. And like, I had reasons for being that person at the time because it was like basically the kind of like safest way to be. I think she just drank that water. Hold on. It was safest option, as well as, you know, I also kind of, I don't know, I wasn't ready to like lose everyone by just being myself and whatever. But I hated that people hated me for being who they wanted me to be and stuff. And most people hated me without even knowing me, which I hated. And I was like, fuck it. If people are going to hate me, I might as well be myself and be hated for being myself, than be, you know, be hated for not being me. I don't know how to like explain it, but yeah, essentially like I basically like nearly died from my medical condition, right? And the thought occurred to me that for like 20 odd years, I'd been somebody who I wasn't. And I kind of had to think about it. I'm like, how long are my parents going to live? Are they going to live like another 40, 60 years? Am I going to be that person that they need me to be for like another 40, 60 years of my life? Or do I just like cut where I'm at the moment and just become who I am and stuff and just be me for the rest of my life, you know? And I ended up choosing to be exactly who I am, unapologetically me. And like, you guys get exactly who I am all the time on stream, and it's lovely. But like, I'm still like in person, I'm still trying to work on not being non-confrontational and other shit like that, where I'm just like, it's easier sometimes to just not have an argument than stand my ground and stuff. But I would much rather have cut off like the shitty people in my life and have lost the people that I have for being myself than continue to be somebody that I wasn't and lived an entire life, wasted my whole life being someone I'm not. Because like at some point in your life, the person that you're not becomes who you are anyway, as well. So if you live like 70 odd years and you spent like 50 of it being this other person, it's like you're more them kind of thing. So I remember I had a VHS Winnie the Pooh movie. Got me scared as a small kid because they got sucked into a world under the bed. Never watched it again too. What? Oh, I missed something. Hold on. I remember I had Resident Evil 4 in PS2 when I was a kid. I died and I was so scared I never played it again. That's fair. That's fair though. I find like the Resident Evil movies, I can't watch like the particular scene with the dogs and shit because like I will just have nightmares from it like almost every time. So I don't really want that. So I won't tend to like watch it. But yeah, I don't know. I know like some people don't really get like a choice in their situation at the moment. Also, another thing too is that like I know that the person that I used to be, the person that I had to kind of be for my family and my in quotes friends and stuff, right? I know that the person that I was once was a horrible being, and I sure as hell am glad that I'm not her anymore, right? But at the same time, I'm aware that as a streamer, as a content creator, at some point in my life, at some point in my content creation time and stuff, somebody will like find something, some aspect of who I once was, and they'll be like, look at how horrible this person was, like they're absolutely heinous past blah blah blah. And it's like, do you have any idea how many years I've been working on like not like overcorrecting or whatever, but like replacing that piece of shit person with the authentic real me and stuff. And like after a while, like whoever I once was is not who I am, you know? But unfortunately, like content creators, streamers and stuff, we unfortunately do tend to get pigeonholed into you are this image of who you are, and anything that contradicts it that ever existed is who you truly are, even though you might not necessarily be that person anymore, or you may have even worked on not being that person anymore and stuff, you know. Was that life is too short, you gotta do what you want to do, or what's the point? And it's exactly that as well, is life is unbelievably quick. Because like there's no guarantee that I'm gonna live to 100. I'm 37 now. I have a lot of old injuries, medical conditions. There's always like probably something else that will come up in the future. Like I also have osteoarthritis as well. So like, you know, my bone density and stuff is going to get worse as I get older. And as a gunshot in the distance, like I have no clue of like if I was to walk out across the road tomorrow and get hit by a bus, like theoretically, I don't think a bus should be coming up my street, but like it could theoretically happen. And if I was to die tomorrow, and like who I was would be my entire life, you know? So that's kind of how I look at it, as like, you know, this is also kind of why when I work on stuff, I tend to work on everything. I kind of want to put all these twigs just on the ground in here for a moment. Whenever I'm working on a task, I try to complete a task within the day so that it doesn't fall upon the next day as like more work for the next day and stuff like that. That's kind of where I've got the general mentality from, is that like I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. I might be super tired tomorrow and I might not be able to work on as much as I did today, or I might be sick. Like I had no idea when I got sick that I was going to spend over 10 years being ill, and not being able to eat certain foods and not being able to do certain things. I had no clue that that was going to happen, but fuck, it did. You know, life just changes. Like today, tomorrow, tonight, whenever, life fucking changes, you know, and no matter how prepared you can be for it, you're not fucking prepared for it, you know. I'm gonna grab her like a basic snack, or, well, actually, fuck it, let's give her a can of something. Seeds and chili. I could really go for some like half decent chili. I know this can go into like recipes and shit, but let's eat that. Hey Weaver, how you been? What are you up to? Basically, people don't ever change approach. I don't agree with that too. I just tried my shitty programming too, with great effort, but it's possible. Oh god, did you? Oh no, wait, I understood that. Sorry, delayed reaction on that, Shadow. I got the message. Is that no one showers twice in the same river? The saying goes, people are never the same way you were before. Phoenix, you're not jumping up. Hold on, Phoenix, my cat. The same way before. All those who start hating the person you were in the past are just sad and full of hate. Yeah, unfortunately. But, I don't know, the way life, like, the way the world kind of is today, I kind of feel like that kind of hate is, like, sensationalized kind of thing. Like, I see it about, like, some of the biggest creators and shit on the platforms, right? And I see, like, the kind of conversations and the videos and the milking content for views kind of stuff people do. And I'm like, I really feel sorry. Like, I'm in the same boat as a content creator and stuff, and as a streamer. So I more so understand their perspective, and I'm like, it would be really, really hard every day on top of what's going on in the world to get up and realize that a whole group of people have just been like more or less radicalized to hate the fuck out of you. today, you know, just because you exist and somebody found out something about your past that you're not even that person anymore, you know. What